Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to FilmSci. Today we'll be going over Pawn Stars Rick Harrison as a wooden phone with more than an iPhone. Let's get into the video. I'm at the world famous gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas, surrounded by displays of guns, decorative knives, Hollywood memorabilia, and the most rings I've ever seen in one place. The framed Nirvana in Utero album and its $8.59 price tag catch my eye, but not my wallet. I've come to meet Rick Harrison from the popular TV show Pawn Stars. He's going to show me some high-end technology that dates back to the 1890s. Pawn Stars premiered on the History Channel in 2009 and is now shown across 150 countries in 38 languages. Its formula is straightforward. A customer wants to sell a rare object. The Pawn Stars determine whether it's worth anything and then negotiate with the customer to get the best deal. What makes the formula work so well is the Harrison family, aka the Pawn Stars. Rick Harrison, his son Corey Harrison, and Corey's friend Austin Chumley Russell are the main cast. Perhaps the most beloved of the Pawn Stars was Rick's late father, Richard Harrison, nicknamed the Old Man. The close-knit family is argumentative, funny, and renowned for getting the best deal they can on any item that crosses their glass counters. Pawn Stars is Antiques Roadshow for the everyman. One of the reasons people like my television show, you learn history from your uncle, not a professor, Harrison told me. I had the good fortune of interviewing Harrison twice over 2 days in early January. The first time was at his shop. The second time was a segment during CNET's live show at CES, you can view below. We talked about topics ranging from wooden phones and Darwin to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and what makes an item collectible. Harrison just opened a second Las Vegas location out of his shop in the Venetian Hotel and Resort. He'll also be part of the inaugural History Con hosted by the History Channel this spring. Thank Comic Con for history nerds. One of the reasons I visited Harrison was to figure out what makes something valuable. Here's a sort of rule of thumb on what we collectible, he says. What was really cool for a guy when he was 16, 18 years old, when he's 15 years old, has money and wants to live his youth, that's when that stuff goes crazy in price. That would explain the unopened copy of Super Mario Kart for the SNES with a $1,950 price tag on it. Here's a lightly edited transcript of our conversation. Let's take a look at some of the old tech you have that's actually worth money. Harrison, pointing to a small printing press. This was high tech when it came out. This was like the first home personal printer. It's a consumer product from the 1890s, and you can make business cards like postcards, things like that. You're talking cast iron here, and to get cast iron percentage parts wasn't technically feasible until the 1890s, when more technology was coming out on casting temperatures, casting materials, everything else like that. Nowadays, people look at stuff like this is so high tech, but remember in the 1890s, they were still sitting around like the amazing time we live in. This technology is absolutely amazing. The same thing was said in the 1930s and 1950s. In the 1970s, when you can actually get a Pong system at your house, I mean, like, whoa. Every year, every generation, every decade, we think they're living in the most technologically advanced time, and we kind of were. Stuff like this was a big deal back then. This is a 1920s side projector. It used glass slides, but it was very high tech for the time. It took an electric light bulb, had great optics. It seemed like every 10 years, although the 20th century, they got better and better with lenses and stuff like that. The telephone right here, this is really cool because it was a compact model. You didn't have to have a giant thing on the wall. This is like their version of a smartphone. This was high tech when it came out. The high tech stuff that's at CES will probably be really cool collectibles 50 years from now because it'll be old school tech. What role do technology and gadgets play in your life outside of Pawn Stars? I live off the grid half the year. I power 3 houses, a machine shop, a well, and all these things like off the grid. I have some weird technology that I have to constantly deal with, like regulating permanent magnet alternators and windmills. I actually had to build diode banks and deal with buck boost transformers and all this other crazy stuff. I mean, once you're talking 3 houses and everything is spread out, that means a lot of weird old school tech and new tech. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss on any of our videos in the future. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.